You mentioned that you played as a Boston Celtic. You were there with Antoine Walker, who, before we went on, I told you I worked with in Chicago. I'm sorry?
So I don't like the Lakers. No, just joking.
No, okay.
What?
Thank goodness.
We got a problem, Tony?
Do not open the floodgates. This was going so well, Tony. But you mentioned that you played with the Boston Celtics. You were there with Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. Paul Pierce also making the media rounds as well. He's doing a lot of post-game for ESPN.
Right.
But when Paul was a little bit younger and a little more spry, you know, it was weird when he slipped in the NBA draft, but playing alongside him, did you feel like that carried not necessarily a burden, but just extra motivation of all the people that doubted him when he did slip in the draft?
Absolutely, because I think the reason why he slipped in the draft was they thought he wasn't in great shape, you know. And sometimes, you know, GMs don't always see the work ethic that a player puts in, but also how does that player fit into the equation of what you're trying to build, what kind of culture you're trying to build. So to me, Paul, you know, he took that personally. Even, you know, when he was going out the league, you know, he never forgot those teams and also those GMs that didn't quite see him as being a lottery pick, like a top 5 draft pick. And Paul, he loved the game. You know, he's kind of like Kobe. He's one of those guys that he would get with his boys and, you know, we would play a game and Paul might come back to the gym and shoot for another hour. He would get there early. So that's what kept him around a lot longer. And then he had great footwork and he knew how to get his shot off. You know, he didn't have, you know, the best, the greatest handles, but Paul knew how to handle the ball to get to where he needed to get to. He was a really good scorer. He learned how to use the pick and roll. He was good coming off screen. He could post up. And, you know, I love Paul game and just being a player with him during that time when I was in Boston. I saw how he really appreciated, you know, how much effort he put into the game, but also what it took to become a great player, all-star, and he will be a future Hall of Famer.
Most definitely.